Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, this will be the first episode that I've recorded for the year 2022. Just finished my stream, and it was alright. It's, what to expect when when you're a small streamer. Nobody joins. And yeah, that's usually how it goes. But anyways, besides that, you guys are probably wondering, what do you mean by that? By the title? What are you saying? But no, like pretty much, yeah, what the title says, I'm starting to like Jake Paul. Like, he's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to have more of a respect for him, because I see that, that's like one of the things that I noticed, and that was one of the things that I saw today, and it was like, you know what? I know at some point in time it's going to come across like, or me and Jake Paul will I don't know, maybe not, but there might be a day where me and Jake Paul, our paths cross. And I'm going to, be honest with him. I'm going to let him know, like, hey, at one point in time, like, definitely, like, it's every day, bro. And then all, like, the way leading up to this last fight, I always had seen Jake Paul as a cringy YouTuber. But then as the time progressed on, like, I'm starting to think like, dang, I kind of just had like this, like, dislikement. I don't feel like dislikement is a word, but y'all know what I'm like, y'all know what I'm trying to say though. But no, I just had like this like thing where I'm like, it wasn't that I hated him. I wouldn't necessarily say that I was a hater of Jake Paul. I would say that I like Logan Paul more than Jake Paul. But yeah, and the reason why I say that is because like Logan Paul, in his boxing matches, with YouTube and everything else, like I was watching his videos, and from like all the way, I was watching both Logan and Jake Paul all the way from the Vine days, and to me they've always have been entertaining content creators. And then it just got to the point where it's like, with all this stuff going on with YouTube boxing, and like just seeing like how much these guys have grown over the years, like you do kind of, and I feel like that Jake Paul, he's not that guy. That I feel like that he was definitely like 10 times more cringier than his brother. Because when his brother tried doing that cringy content, it backfired. All right, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what I mean by that. But with Jake Paul, like he had his cringy content like right on the line. Like the line of it got higher the more and more Jake Paul was doing this content. But his cringy content was right on the line. Like, it wasn't a bad cringy, and it wasn't a good cringy. It was, like, right there on the line. Where it's, like, a neutral, like, cringy. But he just kept, and I feel like that he kept raising the bar higher and higher, for content creators out there, wanting to be like that. And then you just see, like, so many content creators, like, biting off of his style. And then he's growing. He's, making more moves. He's, making moves with boxing. And then that's why I saw today where he said that he would retire from boxing, fight in the UFC, or I think either, I don't know if it's one match or multiple matches, but he said he is willing to retire and from boxing and fight in the UFC if Dana White did all of these different things to benefit the UFC fighters. And that made me respect Jake Paul so much more, seeing that. And that's the thing where it's like, and getting back to what I was saying, the days, if a day ever happens where me and his paths cross, like, let's say for an example, Logan Paul invites me onto the show and Jake Paul is there, I'm gonna flat out be honest with him, like, whether it's behind the scenes or on the show, I'm gonna let him know, like, hey, when it's Everyday Bro came out, I found you. I always found you. After that, found you as a cringy content creator. Now, I did watch you on the Vine days. I think I even followed him on the Vine days. I don't remember. I think I did follow. I might have followed those guys. I know I was aware of them. I knew who they were, but I can't remember if I was following them or not. But anyways, I know of you since then. You were posting Vines just like how everybody else was posting Vines. I see this like, you're being a content creator that everybody has thought about being, or they were that content creator, or they are that content creator, where you're just trying to fit into a crowd, and then it gets to a point in time where it's like that crowd is going to break up, and now you're on your own, and now you got to focus on your own content. So it's like, obviously, this is your channel. This is what you got to do. And that's just like how it is with every other content creator. It's like, that's your channel. You're allowed to do whatever you want on that channel. So the day when you posted It's Every Day, bro, I'm like, bro, that was cringy. I'm like, that's something where I'm like, I don't even want to hear that song. I don't want to listen to that song. I don't want nothing to do with that song. But you did that. That's your content. Like, I can't, my thing is, like, I can say that I don't care for that song or I don't like it, whatever, but I'm like, or hate it, but I'm like, at the end of the day, it's your channel, it's your prerogative, you do what you want to do. It don't matter what I think about you. I'm like talking on Jake Paul and stuff, but I'm like, it don't matter. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. At the end of the day, you're still going to do what you're going to want to do. You still going to be Jake Paul. You still going to be this, like, most hated YouTuber, problem child, whatever you want to call yourself. And at the end of the day, what other people say, it don't matter. Why? Because I'm like, I've been in your shoes before, and it took me the longest to realize that. Like, a hater is going to look at your content and they're going to see everything that you do cringy. They're never going to have no respect for you, and it's like nothing. Like, there's nothing, there's never going to be something positive coming from that hater's mouth talking on you. So my thing is this, I'm like, I'm not a hateful person, I'm not a hater. And it's just going to take time, for me to, like, get used to that type of stuff. So I'm like, and that's the thing. I'm like, we ain't friends. We ain't, like, I'm just, overall, just speaking in future tense, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know. But anyways, but I'm like, I just overall would just look at him and say that. And it's just like, you're still going to do your thing. You still going to do what you want to do. It don't matter what I think. It's not like I'm the king or a god of YouTube. It's not like I own the platform. And if I did, I'm like, and that's who he was. Like, let's say if I had a platform, right? And he was that, content creator. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, what does it matter? Even if I'm like the head honcho of the platform, what would it matter on what I would have to say? And I know a lot of people would be like, what would you overall think on Jake Paul? And probably, yeah, it feels like, it's every day, bro, Jake Paul. I've been like, oh no, dude's a cringy man. Like, he's a very, very cringy man. It still would have been the same situation. It still would have been the same situation where I say he's cringy now, but as the time progressed on and just seeing how much he's grown and rise through the ranks of, like, YouTube and as a content creator, I'm like, hey, you know what? Can't be mad at dude. I can't. I'm like, this, that's what he wanted to do. And I'm like, and that's the thing, it's not like nobody, if somebody had overall told him, like, hey, yo, stop being cringy. Okay, they just wanted him to, follow in the right path. He got into boxing, and now look. This man is like, he's literally like the front runner of content creators getting into boxing. I'm saying, like, there's no other content, and it's like no disrespect to any other, content creators, because I'm not trying to say like, oh, it wasn't KSI. Like, yeah, KSI made his name in boxing, Logan Paul made his name in boxing, Jake Paul. I have to say those are like the three front runners when it comes to, like, like, they're the Mountain Rushmores when it comes to, like, YouTube boxing and stuff. Who would the fourth guy be? I don't even freaking know. Joe Weller? Because I think there's, like, Joe Weller, he was the one that started it all because he wanted to box somebody but ended up boxing KSI. So I guess, yeah, Joe Weller maybe. But anyways, but no, I'm like, you're like, you guys are the front runners and stuff. But if I had to say, like, if anybody, yes, like, if anybody's going to be recognizable off of that, like, Mount Rushmore, it's definitely going to be Jake Paul. It's definitely going to be Jake Paul. And that's like, and like I said, once again, no disrespect to anybody else that's, involved in YouTube boxing and whatever. Like, KSI, my thing is this. KSI, he made his name, he made his mark and territory in YouTube boxing. Like, that man, he fought, trained, did everything he possibly could. And then it's like, but at the end of the day, it's like, he's focused on music. If he gets back into boxing, he gets back into boxing. And, he's still going to maintain that same name that he had, like, before. Well, I don't know. Like, he didn't really retire. It's like, but, yeah, that man's focusing on his music career. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to focus on a sport that's promoting, other people or whatever. You're going to focus on yourself. And it's like, plus, if him making music is making more money, I'm like, people are like getting on like KSI about that and stuff and saying like, oh, Jake Paul better than him, Jake Paul this, Jake Paul that. And I'm like, bro, this man's focusing on his music. Like, let this man focus on his music. Like, there's no problem with that. There's no problem if it's like if somebody gets into boxing and then they just leave. Like, but everybody trying to like make these challenges and stuff. Now, I would say, like, about Jake Paul, and that's like one of the things I probably like if there's ever a day where me and his paths cross. And, like, and it hasn't happened yet, I'll ask him, I'm like, how come you're not boxing somebody that's been in boxing? Like, so far you've boxed, a couple of content creators, a basketball player, What? Who else? Like a couple of UFC fighters. But I'm like, you haven't fought a boxer. Like, yeah, those guys might have been, like, the UFC fighters might have been good in, like, strikes and stuff in UFC. I don't really pay too much attention to them. I think Tyron Woodley, I seen, like, a fight where he knocked a guy out with some punches. And I was like, okay, that was, like, the one and only time I saw that. But I'm saying, like, go up against, like, well, Ryan Garcia, I don't think they're in the same weight class. But I'm saying, like, go up against somebody, same weight class as you, same kind of, record as you in boxing, but go up against somebody that has some sort of training and ability in boxing. Like, not like these, like, wannabe boxers, not these guys that literally started training just to get into boxing and stuff. Like I'm saying, like, it's to me, I just don't see it as a fair fight. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you've proved your point. You've made but it's like, now I just feel like that, your official fight that will matter is when you're going up against a boxer. And I think that's when he was going to go up against that Tommy Fury guy. Or is it Tommy or Tyson? One of them Fury brother, the youngest brother and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, he goes, well, if, like, the guy would have never, like, backed out of the fight. I really don't know the situation on that. Like, I really, like, I ain't gonna, like, say no ill things towards him. I'm like, he backed out. But if he was, like, actually something was wrong with him and stuff, then I'm like, hey, yo, something's wrong with dudes. Like, he can't help it and stuff. Like, he would have wanted to, but it's like, nah, man. But anyways, but no, like, I'm starting to have, like, a little bit more of a likings and a respect towards Jake Paul, because it's, like, I don't, when I look at my situation with YouTube, because I've been in the content creating for, like, 12 years. So I've been through it all. Like, I've seen a lot of different stuff. And when I look at him, and it's, like, and I'm not going to say, like, I'm a better content creator or I got more experience, whatever it is, like, but when I look at his situation, there's at times where I was in the same similar situation where it's like you feel like that you got, like, the whole world against you. Where you feel like you got, like, everybody, like, but you got those ones that's around you that's not going to steer you wrong. And if it came down to it where he was heading in the wrong path, I'm pretty sure his own brother, his parents, family, friends, whoever would tell him, like, hey, what you're doing is wrong. But at the end of the day, like, what? Isn't he still, like, posting videos? I don't know if he's still active, because I'm like, I know some of those guys, they get into YouTube boxing. Let's see if he posted a video. He did post some videos. He streamed. Oh, he posted a video the day that were his last fight. So he has been posting. He's just been posting a bunch of this, like, Showtime stuff for these boxing events. But yeah, it's like, I think, yeah, that's about it. I'm like, dang, bro. That's just all that he's posting. He's just posting. Showtime allows him to do that? Huh, dang. Well, I mean, like, it's him, so it would make sense and stuff. That's just crazy, though. He did all this promotion for this Tommy Fury fight, had, like, press conferences and face-offs and all that, just for it to switch up to Paul and Woodley that fast. Dang. Well, I mean, I was like, yeah, he got paid, and then, Woodley, I mean, even though he lost, like, it's still, like, it is what it is and things, but anyways, but no, like, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, bro, what is this year? What is 22 like? There are, like, all these different things is happening. Freaking TMossBoss says that he likes Jake Paul. Like, what is this? So, but no, man, like, I can't have no ill feelings towards him. It just doesn't even make any sense to have ill feelings towards him. And it kind of, like, makes me think back on that, that young teenager that was hating on Ray William Johnson and stuff. Like, for what? Why? But like I said, I wasn't hating on him. It was just that I was just like, I just saw him as a cringy guy. But now, and then, like, yeah, with this whole situation with UFC, I was like, I like how he's like, Jake Paul is, like, standing up for himself and standing up for others and stuff. Because, let me read off what this thing said, what he wanted. He said, so Jake Paul, he tweeted out, and then he posted, like, a screenshot thing. So he was like, Happy New Year at Dana White. Here's a real challenge for you. I will immediately retire from boxing and fight George Masvidal, something like that, I don't know, in the UFC if you agree to 1, increase mid-fighter pay per fight to $50K. It's $12K now. That's crazy. Like, I would imagine that UFC, like, he's probably did the math and then, overall seen, like, yo, them guys is making bank, so. But anyways, and then 2, guarantee UFC fighters 50% of UFC annual revenue, $1 billion in 2021. Dang. So it's like, yeah, 500 million. I'm like, and then that's 500 million going to the UFC. It's like, are you guys broke? Are you guys dealing with some WWE stuff? Like, what's going on? Like, you know, I wanted to talk about that too. So I'll probably save that for another episode and stuff. But anyways, or maybe the sports channel. But anyways, then he was like, provide long-term health care to all fighters. You previously said brain damage is a part of the gig. Imagine the NFL said that. There are many UFC alumni, like overall like veterans and like legends and stuff, who have publicly said they're suffering from brain damage. Yeah, and now I'm like, hey, yo, that's good that he brought that up, because I'm like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe that's like how it is in boxing, where it's like there's more of a healthcare like benefit with it and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, bro, that's just, man, that's crazy. But anyways, and he was like, you have 5 days to accept and to implement the above by March 31st, 2022. Once implemented, I will immediately retire from boxing and enter USADA and agree to a one-fight deal with UFC to fight Weak Chin George. To all UFC fighters, time to take a stand and create a value for yourselves and peers. You deserve higher pay. You deserve long-term health care. And above all, you deserve freedom. Support each other. I am not your enemy. I am your advocate who selfishly wants to KO a few of you to make some big bank. All right, so yeah, I'm like, I saw that and was like, hey, you know what? I like dude. And I was all like, nah, that's cool that he said that. So, no, I was like, after that, I'm like, I can't really see him as a cringy guy. I see where he was like, he had to be cringy so he could have a platform to, speak out and say. So I'm like, I get where he's coming from and stuff. So, but anyways, and that being said, yeah, Jake Paul, you got nothing but respect on this side of, the podcast universe and stuff. But yeah, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe if you're viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Stay tuned for some more episodes. Make sure you subscribe to all my 39 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will now $20 off your first purchase. And make sure you use my supporter credit code for Epic Games, TMossBoss. And in the meantime, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.